Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for coming. Today's video we have a white girl who came on the internet. She's a student studying nursing, and it's crazy to me that we have these people that want to go and be in the field where they're supposed to be caring for different groups of people. But if such a person comes out and literally saying racist things to black people specifically, how would this person be able to treat a black person if they have this kind of mentality in their head? I mean, you can be mad over an artist. All of us can be mad over certain things that maybe our celebrities can do that we are not happy with. But bringing in racist things, words, is where it draws the line and it shows what kind of a person that you are. But yeah, guys, watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
I'm sorry, but if you're black, you're not country. I don't care. And I wish I meant that in the nicest way. But babe, I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny and grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money. You ain't country.
Everybody meet 𝗬cie. Now 𝗬cie has gone viral for all the wrong reasons, and I got her on the phone. But let me break down why she went viral in the first place before we get into that. She said, "I'm sorry, if you're black, you're not country. I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planning. They wasn't making money. They were getting sold for money. All of that because Beyonce dropped the country album." Now I tried to call her daddy.
Hey, this is Donovan. Sorry, can't take your call right now. Leave your name and number, and I'll get back with you.
And her mama.
This is Sonia. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks. Bye.
But they were smart enough not to answer. Let's see how smart you are.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Is this Asa?
Who's calling?
Well, hello there. Now I immediately brought up her viral video.
About the current situation and everything that's going on. Obviously, I know you're fully aware of it.
I really don't want to speak on this topic.
Oh, all of a sudden you don't want to speak now, huh? Don't worry. I'll get it out of you.
I understand that. I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't really feel like it's smart for me to comment on something without a lawyer present because it's just going to continue to get twisted up.
What would get twisted up?
The story.
What about the story would get twisted?
The entire thing, just like everything else has gotten twisted so far. I just don't feel like I need to comment on it anymore because it just keeps getting twisted and I just don't feel the need to comment on it anymore.
Getting twisted. How was that? Because in this moment, you thought you were putting black people in their place.
Why do you feel like black people can't do country music?
No comment.
Okay, let me ask you this. Since you don't want to comment on anything, do you feel like people are upset for a good reason?
Rightfully so, yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, people are upset for the wrong reason because the story continues to get twisted up.
What?
So I'm not going to comment on the story anymore.
So let me get this straight. People were upset for the wrong reasons because you said that black people weren't country and that they were picking cotton, not making the money?
Can you tell me what people have been trying to twist the story on?
I'm sorry, I just don't really want to comment on it because like I said, people are going to continue to twist it and I just don't really want to comment on it anymore. I'm sorry.
No, I know, I understand that. I'm just trying to understand how people twisted it because I haven't seen any.
And she hanged up on me, but I called her again.
Hello?
Okay, so let me try it this way.
And she hanged up on me again. So I waited a little bit, let things calm down, and then I called her a third time.
Hello?
Hey, I know we talked earlier, and I wanted to see if you had time to think about it.
So after the text you had sent, I really don't think that I will be speaking about it at all. Like I told you several times, I have no comment.
Oh, you mean this text message where I said your no comment speaks volumes?
Okay, well, since you said that, I think that no matter how the public perceives it, either way, you're supposed to be unbiased. So I don't have any comment.
Well, it's kind of hard to be unbiased when you're telling that black people were picking and not making money. That's something you kind of got to be biased on, because if you're pro-slavery, that's a really bad thing, right?
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but is journalism not something that's unbiased? Like, you can correct me, but is that not correct? Like, I thought journalism is supposed to be unbiased.
Journalism is unbiased, but absolutely. But there's lines, right? Like, if there's a story on, say, Hitler, I'm not going to be pro-Hitler, right? If there's a story on pro-slavery, I'm not going to be pro-slavery. There's certain lines and barriers that you just don't cross because it's just immoral by complete standards. So, yeah, absolutely, I have no problem being unbiased, but, like, those lines I will not cross.
Okay, well, like I said, I have no comment, and please do not call me again.
Okay, are you for slavery?
Okay, so if I would have been unbiased and would have had your kind of mindset, you wouldn't have spoken to me. But because I'm against slavery, you're silent. That young lady speaks volumes. Now, for the ones who don't know, she's studying to be a nurse at the Indiana State University. And I'll end it on this. This black queen said hospitals are to black women what cops are to black men. And this person should never be in the care of any human being, especially a black person. My name's Eric Stone. Doses.
Asa Blanton, you are the world's first and only S-tier crash out. And you didn't even crash out over something that was worth crashing out over. You crashed out over a music genre. You crashed out because Beyonce made an album in the genre you like. But most important, your tiny little racist brain could not resist when you saw Beyonce put on a cowboy hat. Something deep inside your ignorant little heart could not tolerate seeing black people do something that you associate with whiteness. Now, if I'm being entirely honest with you, I'm not surprised. No, there are, trust me when I tell you, there are millions of people who feel the exact same way as she does. They're not going to say anything. That's why they're not S-tier crash outs. What's interesting is not only did you cook yourself, you cooked your school, because even if they wanted to keep you, they can't. They can't. They cannot keep you. They got to get rid of you. Now, to me personally, I just think that it's a valuable learning lesson for, like, majority of people. One, never become this level of a crash out, right? But then two, this is literally how racism continues. Like, this girl is a college student, and she was talking like an 80-year-old Klansman. But here's a word of advice, right? If it's that deep, turn it off. Like, turn off your phone, the music, you know what I'm saying? Looking forward to the apology tour, though. Like, 100%. This is going to be, mwah, chef's kiss. Perfect.
As we've seen the video, that is what people had to say, and that's what the white girl had to say. It's unfortunate that these things keep occurring and happening, but then people want to always say we are the ones that don't stop talking about racism. We are the ones that always concentrate on things that concern racism. But this is a person that in 2024 who came out and showed the anger that I would say a lot of people have but are not able to express, like saying things of picking cotton to black people. I mean, it happened, yes, but who made our people do those things? It was your ancestors. It was your people. So why make it seem like it was somehow noble, it was amazing, and that it's like she's saying that's where black people belong. You are just being sold, like she said. That's really insulting. That really triggers a lot of people. And then the fact that when they called her, she doesn't want to talk about it. It shows how coward of a person she is. Yeah, you can get on your phone and say these things, but when it comes back to you and you have to like give explanations and talk about the situation and what led you to say these things, and like just have a normal conversation about what you started, then you don't want to talk about it, then you need a lawyer, then people are twisting words. The real words that she said are the exact words people are using, But then she's saying people are going to twist and people are twisting the story. It's not what she meant. What do you mean when you said black people were being sold and were picking cotton? Those are your words. Why would you say people are twisting words? Like, what? Are you kidding me? I can try to understand that a lot of you guys have been lied to by your education, just like we in Africa have been lied to about a lot of things. But it's now time that things are going back to the reality of what it is. As Africans, we are learning about the truths of what really went on in the continent. Just like you guys now are in a time where you have to learn that not everything that you are told that you did as the greatest is something that you did. It was all lies. When it comes to innovation, civilization, creations, a lot of things that we have today were not created by white people. It's mostly things that were got from people of color and black people, or mostly black people, African people. So yeah, we can try to understand that you're triggered when we do things that you associate with or relate to. Like now, country music is something that you probably mostly thought it's yours and you own it. But yeah, it's not really it. It's a lie, just like you learn in history about things that you never actually created. But yeah, you need to just keep up, learn. Hopefully, we'll get into a world where we all understand our greatness and our weaknesses. So, like I always say, guys, as Africans, as black people, we are not going to stop talking about race unless we stop seeing people bring out racial conversations towards us and to make us feel small. If you are a white person that is triggered because black people are embracing and going back to the things that they invented, and you're mad about the same things that black people invented, then you have a problem and you need to go and school yourself. That's why I'm like, you guys do these things like willingly, and it's no longer in the time where you can just say these things and not face consequences. Like now you're going to be, actually now you're getting kicked out of your institution, and I'm thinking it's going to be hard for you to get any employment because people don't want to associate with a person who came out and said certain things about a certain group of people. And you want to be a nurse, you want to care for other people. How will you even be able to do that when you have this hatred towards them over music? That's why it's funny. So we are not going to stop talking about these things, but also I want to leave this as an education for all those that maybe are missing out on this kind of topic and to understand where country music came from.
Let's talk about how country music was created by black people. Now, there's a myth that you've been taught. You've been taught that country music is the music of white Southerners. The truth is that country music originated among enslaved Africans. Let's start with the banjo. The banjo is an important part of country music. Yet, this instrument originated from West African lutes, which were instruments that were brought to America by enslaved Africans. In fact, the banjo is an African instrument that was an integral part of slave music. Country music is based on the song of the enslaved person. However, country music was labeled as hillbilly music and then was marketed as for whites and not blacks. Black country singers received no credit for their music. Banjos were used at festivals and contests were held that black people were not allowed to participate in. And even the sound was modeled after songs by enslaved Africans. Country music is not white people music.
Black people are mad at me because I said that people of color invented country music and not black people specifically. And you know what I have to say to that? I am sorry. I totally misspoke in that video. I misrepresented the creation and origins of country music as a whole, and I would like to genuinely apologize for the way that I phrased that. I figured today could be a little history lesson for all of the non-black folks out there who did not know that country music was in fact created by black people. Country music originally was a form of storytelling. Now, a little bit of background here. Country music is fundamentally comprised of a few key components: string instruments, storytelling, and simply put, vibes. I don't know about you, but when I think of the banjo, Appalachia, bluegrass, and country music all come to mind. Much like a lot of the instruments that we hear and use today, the banjo was brought to the US by African slaves. They would fashion the banjo and a lot of other stringed instruments out of things like gourds, dried gourds, which is just absolutely fascinating to me. Anyhow, these stringed instruments would be used during the inception of what we know today as blues. And blues was the parent genre of so many styles of music that we hear on the radio today, including country, because of the heavy storytelling that was often found in blues music. And here's the important part. At the time of the inception of country music, black people were not allowed to be in spaces where white entertainment took place. So it was very common for white people to put on blackface and perform this blues-esque music that was created by the African slaves. And get this, the music was so good, even when it was being used as a joke for entertainment, that it started to be taken seriously in mainstream media. So literally, black people created a genre of music, white people stole that music, did it on stage in blackface for entertainment purposes, and the viewers of these racist depictions liked the music so much that it started to gain traction and became a popular music genre. And of course, the credit goes to not black people. And over time, country music has been influenced by other POCs. Spanish music is another example of something that has influenced country music over time. But in my original video, when I said it was created by, I should have said black people. So I'm sorry. I hope this video was insightful and that it taught you something. And I'm excited to see what Beyonce does with this country album. I think it's going to be one for the books. So much love to you, sweetheart. Have a beautiful day. Now it's your turn. You go tell your friends that country music was created by black people, and let's start giving the credit where it is due, my friends.
Yeah, guys, that is it for me in the video. I hope you got the truth, and I hope you're willing to understand that we are great at whatever we do, and we create great things as black people. Yeah, that is it for me in the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.